Om Namo Narayana, and welcome back to our reading of the Mandukya Upanishad. So today we're in video 5, and in the final section, I will not read the whole thing. It's 100 verses exactly, so I think I'm going to cut it somewhat in half or wherever it feels like I can cut it. So there'll be two more videos for this Upanishad. This section is called the Ala Tasanti Prakarana. And there's an English translation here, which I don't normally get in chapter titles, and it says, On Extinguishing the Fire Brand. So here we go. Please join me for this final part, if you will. I bow down to him who is the best among men and who has realized the individual souls that are like ether. Through his knowledge, which again resembles ether and is not different from the object of knowledge. I bow down to that yoga which is devoid of touch with anything that implies relationship, which conduces to the happiness of all beings, and is beneficial, and which is free from dispute and contradiction, and is taught by the Scriptures. Certain disputants postulate the birth of an entity already existing, while some others, proud of their intelligence and opposing among themselves, postulate the birth of what is not existing already. That which already exists cannot be born, and that which does not exist also cannot be born. Those who argue thus are none but non-dualists, and proclaim only the birthlessness. We approve the birthlessness revealed by them. We do not quarrel with them. Now learn this which is free from all disputes. The disputants think of the self on terms of birth. How can the self that is unborn and immortal tend towards mortality? The immortal can never become mortal, so too the mortal can never become immortal, for a change in one's nature cannot ever take place in any manner. How can the entity that is immortal remain unchanged according to one in whose view a thing that is immortal by nature can be born, since it is an effect in his view? By the term nature is to be known that which comes into being through right attainments, which is intrinsic, inborn, and non-produced, and which does not give up its character. All the souls are free from decay and death by nature, but by thinking of decay and death, and becoming absorbed in that thought, they deviate from that nature. According to him who holds that the cause itself is the effect, the cause must be born. How can that which is born be unborn? How can that which is subject to modification be eternal? If, in your view, the effect is non-different from the cause, and if for that reason the effect also is unborn, how can the cause be eternal, since it is non-different from the effect that undergoes birth? He who holds the view that this effect is born from an unborn cause has no example to be cited. If the born effect is viewed as born from another born thing, it leads to ad infinitum. How can they who hold that the effect is the source of the cause and that the cause is the source of the effect assert beginninglessness for cause and effect? According to the disputants who hold that the effect is the origin of the cause and the cause is the origin of the effect, birth may be possible, just as a father might be born of a son. If cause and effect be possible, the order in which they originate has to be found out by you, for if they originate simultaneously, there is no relationship between the two. Your cause that is produced from an effect cannot be established. How will a cause that is itself not established produce an effect? If the cause emerges from the effect, and if the effect emerges from the cause, which of the two has arisen first, on which depends the emergence of the other? Your inability to reply tantamounts to ignorance, or there will be a difference in the order of succession postulated by you. Thus indeed is the absence of birth revealed by the wise in this manner. What is called the illustration of a seed and a sprout is always equal to the major term yet to be proved. The middle term, the illustration, that is equal to the unproven major term cannot be applied for establishing a proposition yet to be proved. The ignorance regarding antecedents and succession reveals birthlessness. From a thing that is born, why is it that its antecedent cause is not comprehended? Nothing whatsoever is born either of itself or of something else. Similarly, nothing whatsoever is born, whether it be existent or non-existent, or both existent and non-existent. A cause is not born of an effect that is beginningless, nor does an effect take birth naturally from a cause that is beginningless. For that which has no cause has no birth also. Knowledge has its object, since otherwise it brings about the destruction of duality. Besides, from the experience of pain, the existence of external objects as upheld by the system of thought of the opponents is admitted. In accordance with the perception of the cause of knowledge, the latter is deemed to be based on external objects, but from the point of view of reality, the external cause is regarded as no cause. Consciousness is not in contact with objects, nor is it in contact with the appearance of objects. For the object is certainly non-existent, and the ideas constituting the appearance of objects are not separate from consciousness. Consciousness does not ever come in contact with objects in the three periods of time. Without a cause, how can there be its false apprehension? Therefore, consciousness is not born, nor are things perceived by it born. Those who perceive it as having birth may as well see footprints in the sky. Since it is the birthless that is born in the view of the disputants, birthlessness is its nature. Hence, deviation from this nature can happen in no other way whatsoever. If transmigratory existence be beginninglessness, its termination will not be reached, and liberation will not be eternal if it has a beginning. That which is not existent in the beginning and the end is definitely so in the present. The objects, although similar to the unreal, look as though real. Their utility is opposed in dream. Therefore, for the reasons of their having a beginning and an end, they are definitely remembered to be unreal. All objects are unreal in dream, inasmuch as they are seen within the body. In this narrow space, how is the vision of creatures possible? It is not reasonable to say that objects in a dream are seen by actually going to them, since it runs counter to the regulation of time that is needed for the journey. Further, none, when awake, remains in the place of the dream. In dream, what has been discussed with friends and others, and settled, is not resorted to when awake. Whatever is acquired in the dream is not seen when awake. And in the dream, the body becomes unreal, since another body is seen in the bed. As in the body, so is everything cognized by the consciousness, and it's all unreal. Since the appearance of objects in a dream is just like that in the waking state, the former is thought of as being caused by the latter. Such being the case, the waking state is considered to be real for that dreamer alone. Such birth is not established. Everything is said to be unborn. Besides, it is not possible for the unreal to be born from the real in any way whatsoever. Having seen unreal things in the waking state, one, deeply impressed, sees those very things in a dream. Likewise, having seen unreal objects in a dream, one does not see them when awake. There is no non-existent that serves as the cause of the non-existent in the same way as the existent does not serve as the cause of the non-existent. There is no real entity that serves as the cause of another real entity. How can the unreal be the product of the real? Just as one, for want of discrimination, takes unthinkable objects in the waking state as real, so too in the dream one sees things in that state alone, for want of discrimination. And we're going to pause here. That was verse 41. And I just want to say that 1,000+ years ago, when this was written, we had Jordan Petersons in the world. Or Joe Rogans or whoever, or Bill O'Reilly's. This felt so much like a modern day, rant. Whether it's Gore Vidal, and Bill Buckley debating or something modern or whatever. It was like, oh my God, things haven't changed so much, have they? We still go back and forth. And there was even a slight here. Oh, those who perceive it as having birth may as well see footprints in the sky. I just got a kick out of this. Things haven't changed. But then, we talk about Socrates and debate. So debate is human nature. Debate is human nature. And if anyone wants to silence debate, they're trying to silence human nature.